Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a lecture. Hopefully I'm on screen. This is Hank, so he's with me today. We're gonna talk about just kind of basic dog training skills and how to get dogs off leash, because the bottom line for agility is that it is all off leash. And you can't control your environment. You never know what they're gonna be working around. Hi, Hank. He's very whiny. So I chose him because he's way less handler focused than the border collies, and we haven't done any of this in a long time. So there's a lot of gross, Hank. A lot of skills that I start with my puppies and my new dogs from the get-go. So let's talk about the basics of what we're trying to do. So my goal is to get a dog that will opt in, want to work pretty much whenever, wherever. So our gear that we need is I bring, for the flight risk dogs, a long line. I like to tie a couple of knots just in case anything happens and I need to get a grip on it. It kind of simulates the off leash. Doesn't do it quite as well as being actually off leash, but there's some dangers there. You know, with dogs bolting, we don't want to annoy people. I will say, I think a problem with a lot of dogs is the only time that they get to be off leash is at agility class. So, and then it's this exciting thing. They never get turned out loose anywhere. And then it's like this very novel experience of like, oh my gosh, I'm running off leash. I don't have to listen because I'm just running and having a good time. So for me, since day one, I want my dogs to feel a little bit of freedom. I mimic it with the long line, and then I try to get them actually off leash. The border collies are easier for sure because they are pretty off leash reliable in certain specific circumstances. So I can take them out to a big field, pull out a frisbee. They're really not going to go anywhere. If he sees a squirrel, if he sees a dog, he's going to go somewhere. So it's a little bit more thoughtful with him. So thinking about like your dog, what they struggle with, you want to build a plan. I will say there's now sniff spots online, so you can go online and go to sniffspot.com or whatever and find people that are renting their properties and their yards and find fields and yards that you can practice this stuff in. So a lot of dogs will be great at home, and then you take them anywhere else and they just run amok because it's new, it's exciting, and then they're just off doing their own thing. So I try to build this when they're babies. I adopted as an adult, so it was less, I was breaking stuff that he struggled with because I didn't have the puppy foundations to work with him. And he honestly, if I'm being honest, he's still not totally off leash reliable. I can drop this leash though here and I feel pretty comfortable that he's not gonna just like take off. I still like pick and choose where we go off leash. Hi, you sir, so whiny, sir. But he's never gonna be like the border collies. But it is a lot better because he used to just drag me. He broke my finger once, pulling me off leash to go to a rabbit. So I start with my puppies or my new dogs, and I start in the back or in the house. So like empty room, all the other dogs put up. Can we do little exercises in the house? And that's where we start. That starts going really well. I try to make it more distracting. So the backyard is more distracting than the house. So we do the same skills that we can do in the house. Can we do them in the backyard? And it's not just like sit and down. It's going to be some games and stuff that I will show y'all. Okay, cool. Can we do that? Can we do it in the front yard where we got people walking past and dogs and things like that? Because the front yard is going to be more exciting than the backyard. That one, I would have him on a line. Question is, will he still work? So after they can do in the house, backyard, come out to the front yard, and they're doing stuff, I will expect like a regression every time we change locations. So empty room, regress. Backyard, probably will regress back to like where they were first starting, and I want to work my way up. Front yard. Okay, then I start taking it on the road. So I find empty places We go to PetSmart, Petco to ramp it up even more. So I want to start first off in like an empty spot like this. This one's a little bit of a medium challenge. I've got, you can't see behind you, but there's joggers and bikes and dog walkers and cars and stuff going by. So there's a lot to look at. But this is kind of a medium beginner. So then I'll take it to more populated parks or into the city next to a dog park if they're very like focused on other dogs. Not going into the dog park. I'm not a huge fan of dog parks, which is another talk, but I want them to be able to work around other dogs running and playing. So that's my goal. I kind of set out a plan. We're very systematically learn the skills at home in a very controlled environment. Then we're going to start testing them. Can we do them in the backyard? Can we do them in the front yard? Can we take them to an empty field? Okay, can we take them to a sniff spot? The sniff spot would be great. Take all this stuff and see if they can do it in a secure fence area that's new to them. Do check on sniff spot because some of them are not fenced and some are. But it's a really good option now and they're pretty cheap usually. So let me think. I had something else I was going to say and now I forgot. I'm going to cut that there.